Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Siege of Avalon. We've just learned that our brother Corvus has not returned from his assignment, and we're about to go talk to General Roth to see if we can find any information about that and hopefully do something about it. Because he's our brother and we love him very much. So we're going to head up to his office right now, which is quite a distance away, unfortunately. Avalon is a very big place, so we're going to have to do a bit of legwork before we can get there. So here's his office. The guards wouldn't have let us in before, but now they will, since we have very important business with Sir Roth. And inside we find a bunch of very important people. Not actually very important, just important in the sort of story sense, not important in the sense that we'll need to speak to them anytime soon. Sir Roth is important, however, and we'll be getting quite a bit of information from him. He mentions that the party that your brother and General Oberon went out with seems to have disappeared, and he gives you permission to go out and investigate. He also transfers command over you to another man named Mudam, who is the leader of scouts and information gathering for the war effort in Avalon. Now, one nice little Easter egg in the game here is what's in Sir Roth's chest. Now, you see here, he has a cracked staff, not very important. A simple gold ring, which adds 2 to your mana. We'll take that. And a book called There and Back Again for the First Time, the story of a child's adventure to steal a dragon's treasure. Yes, so we'll be taking all of that. If you don't get the reference, shame on you. Don't know why you're playing this game if you wouldn't get that reference, but anyway. Now that we've done that, we have to go talk to Mudam, who is now our commanding officer. If you're a scout, he is of particular importance because he'll be giving you the he would have given you the all-important class change quest, but we're not a scout, so he's not that important to us. However, we will be spending a lot of time with him, since he'll be a commanding officer for quite some time. And he talks to us for a while, and he wants you to go investigate some strange activity that's in the village while you're also looking for your brother. So we're going to be doing that as well. He also suggests that we go talk to a man named Avalon, who may have further tasks for us while we're in the village. We'll definitely be doing that. As well, there are a few other NPCs we need to talk to, and since now that we're able to leave the castle walls, we're a hot commodity and everyone wants our help with something or other. First of these people is the blacksmith, Freeman. And we mentioned the steel shortage, and we offered to go find some steel for him out in the village. Shouldn't be too difficult, I suppose. He offers to make us a nice new sword if we do so. I'm not really going to use the sword, but if I recall correctly, we do get some training points, so we'll be doing that anyway. Here's a man named Avalon that Mudam mentioned. I'm definitely going to want to talk to him. He mentioned that there's a task he needs. His friend Pelandrian needs some assistance with something, so we offer to help, and then he'll give us some information about the village. So we need to go talk to Pelandrian, and she's all the way over here, and see what her deal is. Hopefully it's nothing too complicated. So we talked to her for a while, and apparently she has some sort of love problem, yes. Unfortunate. It would seem that the love of her life is a bit of a conservative fellow, and she herself is apparently a practiced magician, and he doesn't really like magic all that much, and it's damaged their relationship quite a bit, so we need to help patch that up, apparently. Seems like an odd thing for a soldier to be doing, spending his time doing, but if that's what we've been assigned, and where we'd ask questions, really. So we go and talk to her love interest, and he talks about her a while, and apparently he's still in love with her, so obviously we're going to have to do something about that. So we need to go back to Pelandrian and inform her of this. So we run all the way back. You have to do this quite a few times, unfortunately. I might fast forward this when we get to the final production cut, but then again, maybe not. So we tell the fair lady of her plight and offer to see if we can't convince Lauren to try to patch things up with her. So we go back and talk to him again, tell him what's going on, and we convince him to try to go talk to her, but he says he requires a gift to present to her first before he can do that. And he mentions his favorite color is blue. Interesting. Well, we'll have to find something blue for him then. We'll also have to tell Pelandrian about this plan, so she's aware of it, I suppose. And having done that, we're done with this quest for now. We can go talk to Avalon again, who has yet more information for us now that we've offered to help his friend. So, talking to him again, he mentions he has an item stowed away somewhere in the village, in a locked chest, and he'd like us to go look for it. There's a key ring that opens up the chest, so we're going to have to look for that too. But for now, we're just going to head to the village for the first time. To that, we go to the southern gate and head out the front entrance. Okay, we're now outside the castle, and out of here there's going to be a very large number of hostile enemies. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to spend some of these training points that we've ranked up. Now we can spend them on any of these primary abilities we see here. There's a few we can eliminate out of hand that we're not really going to use. First one is Strength. We have absolutely no use for Strength. That only helps you if you need to wield a heavy weapon or want to do extra damage with it. We're not going to be doing much weapon damage in this game, so we don't need to worry about that. Next is Coordination. The important thing that Coordination does is it affects your attack speed, your recovery speed from when you're hit, and it says it affects your resistance modifiers, but I'm not sure if that's exactly true. I don't think it is. No, it isn't really true. So we're not going to be putting much in Coordination. Constitution, on the other hand, is very helpful, because that increases our total hit points and total mana, and it also affects the recharge rate, at which we heal and recharge mana. So that's an important stat. We're definitely putting at least some points in there. Next is Perception. This isn't very helpful. We're not really going to be putting many points into this. All it does is make it easier for us to map out the areas we're exploring, and make it less likely that we'll be sniped by enemy scouts. Neither of these are particularly useful. We'll probably kill the scouts before they're able to shoot us, and we can always dodge their arrows. So we're not going to be putting any points into Perception. Charm, likewise, is also not very helpful. All it does is affect the buying and selling rates for merchants, and since merchants aren't really important past the first or second act, we're not really going to be putting any points in this either. Mysticism, on the other hand, is probably our most important ability. It affects our mana, our total mana stock, and the recharge rate, and most importantly, it also affects it also influences how much damage each of our spells do. We're definitely putting a lot of points into this because it's very important. Combat is not very important. All it really does is affect the attack and defense ratings of our character, which is the attack rating is how likely you are to hit with a basic attack, and the defense is how likely you are to be hit. So you want both of those to be high, but then again, as a mage, we don't really care since we won't really be in melee combat all that much, and that's all that matters for attack and defense, so we're probably going to ignore those. Stealth is the ability, well, stealth is stealth, and it's fairly obvious what that is. And for the time being, it's not very useful, but as I mentioned before, the fourth act of the game is a very stealth-based mission, and in order to do it properly, we are going to need to be stealthy. There's a few things that can help us with that, but we may need to put some points into that ourselves, as I like to do that chapter the way it was meant to be done. So I think for now, we're going to put some points into Constitution, since that's a very useful ability, and we're going to put the rest into Mysticism. As we rank up more points, we'll also buy those other specialized training things that were offered to us earlier. But I see I'm running out of time here, so I suppose we'll end the video now before we get into any combat. Hope to see you next time.